How you doing, guys? I'm Daniel Rees-Morgan. I'm the fulfillment coach. I support leaders in being fulfilled so they can create a greater impact in the world. I also go under the guise of an NLP for Kids practitioner, where I support children in leading happier and more fulfilled lives. And I got a little secret I want to share with you today. I'm a superhero. You heard me. I'm a superhero. Well, I'm going to talk to you today about how you can become a superhero too, and how you can find your superpowers. And if I was going to stand here and tell you about how you can become a superhero, and I wasn't one myself, it'd be a little bit inauthentic, wouldn't it? If I was going to stand here and teach you about how you can make a lot of money, and I didn't have any myself, you wouldn't want to listen to me, would you? And rightly so. So how am I a superhero, and what's my superpowers? Well, I went through depression for a long time. I went through depression for 10 years of my life, to the point where I felt like I wanted to cry all day long for no apparent reason. And you might be thinking, not the best of superpowers, really. Are you going to fight bad guys with that? Well, it's what came of that. And what came of me being depressed for such a long time is my thirst for wisdom, my thirst to understand myself. Because for a big part of that time when I was depressed, I didn't even know why. And if you know why you're depressed, at least you can do something about it, isn't it? But if you don't know why you're depressed, where do you go there? Where do you go then? What do you do from there? You just feel lost, confused, and that's where I was. And so I decided to find out why, and to find out what I could do about it. So for a decade now, I've been studying how the mind works, how emotions work, and how life works. And that's my superpower. I've come to understand myself. And when you think about how much depression there is in the world, and the suicide rates rising, and all the craziness going on in the world, helping people to be able to become a little bit happier, to me, is a superpower. Because if I can help people to become a little bit happier, maybe I can save someone from killing themselves. I think if people were a bit happier, we wouldn't have wars. You think people who start wars, do you think they're really happy and fulfilled in their life? I doubt it. I think if people were happier, I think the world would be a much better place. So this is my superpower. This is me being a superhero. Is going out there and helping people to become more fulfilled and happier so that they can create a positive impact in the world, and a ripple effect of positivity floods throughout the world, making this a better place to live. So point number 1, embrace your challenges. Because my biggest challenge in life has also become my biggest gift. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Because I love where I am today. And I love the fact that I understand myself enough that I can help other people to understand themselves enough so that they can become a bit happier and a bit more fulfilled. And they can then go on and be a positive influence in someone else's life. So whatever challenge you're going through at the moment, embrace it. Be grateful for it. For every negative, there's an equal positive. I believe that. I truly believe that. And when you believe that, you look for the positive in every negative. Everything that happens, every challenge that comes into your life, you look for, what am I going to get from this? Where's the positive in this? If I hadn't had depression, I'd be carrying on living a mediocre life, not understanding myself, not being as happy as I could be, not being depressed, but just being very mediocre. Now I'm very passionate about where I am. I love studying the mind. I love studying emotions. Juices me up. I love it. So wherever you're going through, if you're being bullied, if you're finding certain lessons a little bit difficult, know that when you overcome that challenge, that will be your biggest gift. Overcoming the challenges is the biggest gift. So, let's go on to becoming a superhero, yeah? Lesson number 2. Manipulate reality. That sounds like a superpower, yeah? That is a pretty cool superpower, isn't it? I'm pretty excited about this. You can manipulate reality. And I have. I can manipulate reality. And that's why I'm not depressed anymore. Or maybe you might say, maybe I was already manipulating reality, but just doing it in the wrong way and didn't know what I was doing. So this is how we manipulate reality. And I've just brought along a friend of mine to help us find out how we can manipulate reality. My mate's called Fred. So you can say hi to Fred. Fred's a cool guy. He's a superhero too. So Fred is experiencing some life, as we all do, every day. He's experiencing a situation, a challenge, you might say. I'm going to call it life. All right? So there's some life going on. Yeah? Have a look out the window, you'll see some life going on. Happens all the time, can't stop it. So you may as well learn how you can use it to your advantage. So Fred, and everyone else, takes in life, situation, challenges, 5 different ways. What's the 5 different ways we take in challenges, situations, life? Shout them out. Any ideas? So, we see things through our eyes, don't we? Can you see that actually? I hope so. We hear things. We feel things. We taste things. And we smell things. Yeah? So this is how we take in everyday life. I'm sure you all know this, guys. I know you're probably looking at me like I'm an idiot at the moment. So get on with the good stuff. This is where it starts, okay? It's going to get interesting. Just stick with me. So, in NLP, we would call this visual, auditory, kinesthetic. I always get mixed up with these two. But this is olfactory, this is gustatory. I always remember it as olfactory, sounds like an old factory, which you could smell, but you wouldn't want to taste. And then gustatory sounds like a goose, which you could smell and you could also taste. So gustatory is taste, olfactory is smell. All right. So we take in life. And as life happens, we're actually taking in somewhere between 2 million and 2 billion bits of information every second, believe it or not. So much information coming in at us all the time, which is just far too much for our mind to process. And so our mind, one of the biggest jobs of our mind is to get rid of all the things that we don't need. Yeah? So the first thing we need to do is delete a hell of a lot of stuff that is coming at us all the time, because otherwise our brain would just explode. And we're not going to be very good superheroes without a brain. And then next thing we do is we distort information, and then we generalize. Information. So we've got these 2 million bits of information coming in through our senses, and then we need to delete, distort, and generalize, otherwise our brain's going to explode. Right? So let me give you an example of delete. Adults, this is easier to explain it to. I don't know, children, you may want to try and put this into your own context, but I always say it is like when you buy a new car, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere, don't you? Well, was that car there before you bought it? Of course it was, but you was deleting it out of your mind because it didn't seem important to you. So we delete the things that seem unimportant to us. Another way to put it, actually, I just thought may be easier to understand being a child. For instance, your teacher's talking to you, I'm talking to you right now, and imagine a lion comes into the room which you're in, and he's roaring, and he's hungry, and he wants to eat ya. Are you going to be listening to a word that I say to you when you're worrying about that lion having a little taste of your leg? Probably not, isn't it? Because you're going to be deleting everything that I'm saying and everything else that's going on, because that lion is now the most important thing in the room, in your life, because he may possibly take a big chunk out of your leg, which wouldn't be too good. So you need to protect yourself, right? So this is how we delete. Distort, good way to think of it, is two different parties going on, right? We got one party going on, and that is full of people having a whale of a time. They're having the best time of their lives. They're partying, there's music on, they're playing games, they're having a good laugh, they're with their friends. But there's two people in the corner that are having a Barney. The one stole the other one's crisps, and he's kicking off about it. He's kicking off real bad. They were his favourite crisps. He hasn't got any more. He's upset about it. He's having a Barney. Well, anyway, in comes a cameraman into this party. And if the cameraman just focuses solely on these two people having an argument in the party, what is then the experience of that party going to be in the video? If he's focused in solely so much that that all the camera can see is these two people arguing, he's blocked out all the people having a whale of a time, then this party seems like pants, doesn't it? Because all you see is these two people arguing, whereas there's all this fun going on and everyone having a whale of a time. But he would have distorted that party to be a bad one because he's focused solely on the people that are arguing. Or the opposite could be true. Party number two, everyone is arguing, which I don't know why you would want to go to that party really, but maybe there's two people in the corner that are having a whale of a time. They're having a laugh, they're having a joke, they're best friends, they're hugging, everything's amazing. If the camera comes in and focuses solely on these two guys, the experience becomes amazing, doesn't it? And this is worth having a little think about and let it sink in, because this is very often what we do with our lives, you know? What are you focusing on? Even if there is a party full of arguing in your life, metaphorically, there's still something that you can focus on that will make you feel good. So what are you grateful for? Who do you love? Who loves you? What are you happy about? What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about? Ask these questions and you'll find the answer. There's always an answer. So distort your reality, which is the whole purpose of this, isn't it? Distort your reality so that you can make it what you want it to be. By asking the right questions, looking for the right things. And then the next one is generalize. Like, I catch myself doing it all the time, like saying like, oh my God, I'm having such a bad day. Or you could say, oh, I'm having such a bad week. I'm having a bad month. I'm having a bad year. But when you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, like even if I was just to say, I've had a really bad day, I could be thinking about the nice cup of tea that I had in the morning. I could be thinking about the fact that I had 8 hours sleep in a nice comfortable bed. So don't generalize things to be really bad, because when we do that, we make things big in our mind and it seems terrible when it's really not, and we make ourselves feel really bad. Question your generalizations. If you're thinking, nobody likes me, I'm sure your mother likes you. I'm sure you have some friends. What about if you like you? And that's the most important person, isn't it? So don't let your generalizations get out of control. Like I said, I do it all the time. We all do it. We're human. Even though we're superheroes. We're human superheroes. And we do things. We make mistakes. We do things that are not great, sometimes. But that's fine. As long as we understand it and we can do something about it once we've noticed it. All right? So this is how we process life. This is how we process everything that's going on. We delete a lot of stuff. We distort things to make them bigger or smaller or different. And we generalize to put them in a little box to make it simpler for our mind to understand. But have a little think about how you're doing these things so that you can take control of it and you can distort reality to make it wherever you want it to be. Just checking the time. Right, so once we've had our situation, it's gone through our filters, what we call these. These are our filters: delete, distort, generalize. We're left with what we think. Okay? So after we've got rid of a lot of stuff, we've distorted things to make it differently, and then we've generalized things to put it into a box. This is what we call our thoughts, which is pictures and sounds, basically. And what we think affects the way we feel, which is what we've all been talking about, isn't it? What we think affects the way we feel. Now, this isn't rocket science. If you're thinking a bad thought, how do you feel? You could tell me straight away, couldn't you? If you're thinking a bad thought, you feel bad. If you're thinking a good thought, you feel good. All right? So what we think affects the way we feel. And the way we feel affects the way we use our body. So this would be called body, to keep it simple, or physiology, if you want to be all posh and fancy. And these things all intertwine. So you can see I've got lots of arrows going on in here. So the way we think affects the way we feel affects the way we use our body. The way we use our body affects the way we feel, and it affects the way we think. The way we think affects our body, the way we use our body affects the way we think. So for instance, if you're thinking a good thought and you're feeling good, like we said, what's your body going to look like? Are you going to be all... Probably not, Anna. you're going to have a big smile. Your body's going to be like opened up. If you're dancing and you're feeling that good, you're going to be moving all in the right ways. So, yeah. And like I said, because these all interact with one another, we can change one of them and affect the other one. So if we delete, distort, and generalize in a different way, we're going to think a different way, we're going to feel a different way, we're going to use our body in a different way. And if we use our body in a different way, we're going to feel a different way, and we're going to think a different way. So use your body like a superhero. So like I did right at the start, it's a really good example. How does Superman stand? Hands on his hips, chest out, shoulders back, head up, looking upwards. Try doing that for a couple of minutes. Makes you feel really good, makes you feel powerful. Yeah? And then when you've got your body in a powerful way, you're feeling really powerful, you think better thoughts. So you've manipulated reality again. There may be negative things going on. But if you use your body differently, you'll feel differently and you'll think differently. If you think differently, you'll feel differently and you'll use your body differently. There we go. And then the way we think, feel, and use our body will affect our decisions. And the decisions we make affects our actions. So the things we do, yeah? If we're feeling really good, we do good things, don't we? Like I was saying earlier, when we feel good, we do good things. We naturally want to be nice to people. That's my experience. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think people who are nice to people are nice because they feel nice? Do you think when people are not so nice, do you think it's because they don't feel so nice? I believe that. Yeah? So if we're feeling good, we're taking good actions. We're being nice to other people. And in turn, that makes us feel even better. When you're good to other people and you make other people feel good, that makes you feel even better. And so you want to do better things for other people and they want to do nice things for you and you feel really good. It's pretty cool. And then the actions we take affects the results we get. People want to be more friendly towards you. Like I said, if you're being nice to them, they want to be nice to you. This is the result that you're getting, isn't it? The way other people react to you. And then the results we get goes into a loop. So we get different results. People are being nicer to us. We see, hear, feel. Probably not going to taste other people being nice to you, unless they're giving you sweets, maybe. Smell other people being nice to you? Not so sure about that one. But we can definitely see, hear, and we feel it, don't we? And so that feeds back into a nice loop again. And when people are being nice to you, you can delete out all the bad things, you can distort it to be even nicer than it is, you can generalize it to be everyone is nice to me. And then you start to generalize things about yourself. I'm a nice person. I'm nice to people and they're nice to me. Those are some nice generalizations to have, aren't they? It's going to make you feel really good. So, this is basically who you are. Fred is giving you an example of who you are. This is your personality, basically. The way you delete, distort, and generalize makes you who you are. That's what makes us all different. Just the way that we delete, distort, and generalize. That's what makes up your personality. That's what makes you who you are. So if you want to be a superhero, delete, distort, and generalize, and think and feel and use your body like a superhero. Make decisions that superheroes would make, take actions that superheroes would make, and you get the results that superheroes make. And you'll be a superhero just like me. So I'm going to take you one step further. Can you see over here? Yes. Now, one of the things that affects the way we delete, distort, and generalize is our beliefs. Okay? So when you believe something, it's going to affect the way you delete, distort, and generalize things. Like, for instance, if you believe that Martians are thieves, then if you're at a party with a load of Martians, you come from there and your phone's gone missing, what's the first thing you're going to think? You believe that Martians are thieves. You've come from the party, your phone's missing. Are you going to be thinking, where did I leave it? Or are you going to be thinking, which Martian took it? So this is how beliefs affect the way we delete, distort, and generalize. Because if he was thinking which Martian took it, rather than where did I leave it, you would have been deleting all the other possibilities of what could have happened to your phone, wouldn't you? You would be distorting reality in that you've now decided in your mind that they have it. You don't know that. You've distorted reality. And you've generalized all Martians to be thieves because that's a belief that you had. Yeah? That's an example of how beliefs affect the way we delete, distort, and generalize. So what we want to do, if we want to be a superhero, we want to take on the beliefs of a superhero, don't we? Yeah? So, these are some very common beliefs that we have. These are the big guys. These are the big daddies of beliefs. Okay? I am, others are, the world is. So think to yourself, what would a superhero think in terms of these beliefs? I am. What would a superhero think? I am. Something like, I am powerful. Quite possibly. Yeah. Obviously, we can only guess unless you actually speak into a superhero like Superman. If you get to have a conversation with Superman, then ask him, because I'd like to know myself. Or Batman as well. Batman's pretty cool, isn't he? I like Batman. If you ever see him, ask him what he believes. Something like, I am a positive influence, they might think. They might think something like, I am a force for good. Yowza, that would be a powerful one, wouldn't it? I am a force for good. What about others are? What would a superhero believe others are? Others are nice? I don't know, I'm guessing. Others are, not so sure about that one. The world is my playground, they might believe. The world is exciting. Something like that. I don't know. I'm a little bit lost, to be honest with you. Maybe you want to think up some answers for yourself. So, I am powerful. I am a positive influence. I am a force for good. Yes, I like that one. Others are nice, helpful, depending on whether they're a bad guy or, just a normal person. The world is my playground. The world is exciting. They might think some things like that. So have a little think. Maybe you want to come up with some answers for yourself. What would a superhero think? What beliefs would they have? And if you take on a superhero's beliefs, you'll be on a good way to put in this delete, distort, and generalize onto autopilot so that you will be more of a superhero. And you will then be thinking like a superhero, you'll feel like a superhero, and use your body like a superhero, you will be a superhero. So use your body like a superhero, feel powerful as a result of putting your body into a powerful posture. You will feel powerful, and therefore you will think more powerfully, and you will have these beliefs that make you a superhero, and you will be a superhero. So get out there and do some good in the world. Peace.